I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
We didn't move far enough south, close enough to the equator. All right, let's do this. Welcome to the stream, everybody. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Spiders After Sunset. This is our first stream. Marshall Arachnids. Ryan here, joined by the lovely Jessica. We have to watch our hand gestures here because
stop.
our camera's very sensitive. It like tracks our gestures, so we gotta figure that out.
Let us know if you can hear us well and all that.
Yes, please let us know
too.
how the audio is. Let us know if you guys can hear us. God, I gotta stop with the gestures. I talk with my hands. This is a problem. If you guys know me, I talk with my hands. You'll see in a second if I do stuff, it does like, I'm just gonna do it. Look, watch.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, whoa.
You're gonna ruin it.
Keep going. Keep going. See what I'm talking about, guys? Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. Ryan and Jess here, like I said. Welcome to Spiders After Sunset. This is our this is a long time coming. Oh, now it's tracking you. See what I mean? This is a long time coming, you guys. We have.
I don't know how to fix it.
We probably should have done this a long time ago. That's all right. We'll just let it track you. That's fine.
Why? That's not right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's okay.
I don't think it's tracking.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go. Come on back in. So sorry if we blend into the background here, guys. The green screen was kind of like an afterthought, but it's coming. So the next stream we should have. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, we'll figure that out.
Just do the thing. How do you stop it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you stop the tracking?
There we go.
Okay, no more gestures. Stop.
Okay. All right, we're going to stop talking with our hands. All right, guys. So what is this and why are we doing this? So let's just talk about you and I, right? So Marshall Arachnids started, when did we start keeping spiders?
Well, go ahead.
I started keeping spiders, I think, in 2016. Yeah, that sounds about right. And we officially formed in 2021. And ever since we started, we have had quite a different approach. For those of you guys who don't know us, we're going to kind of spend a little bit of time talking about who we are, what our background is. I know some of you guys know the answers to these questions and kind of know who we are, but some of you might not. And we have a bit of a different approach. So let's talk about that, because that's going to kind of be the foundation of what this is. So a lot of you guys have asked us to do many live streams, video demonstrations, YouTube content, blah, blah, blah. The truth is I'm not very good at being on camera. And we don't have time to do YouTube content. So this is like the best way to get you guys involved, and we can do visual demonstrations. There's a lot of things we want to talk about. And we can just kind of cover all the bases live. And if you guys want to jump in and ask questions, you guys can do that. So it's just a live stream just kind of like makes sense. And I don't know. It's just better to do it this way. So let's talk about us. So Jess and I are former zookeepers. Jessica is a zoologist. I'm just a schmuck. But
I have the piece of paper that says that I have a bachelor's degree, but you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Jess went to school and did all the things. My degree is actually in the medical field. Radiology, radiography, whatever you want to call it.
Hey, Wayne. Hey, Charles. Hey, Ben.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ben, Charles, Wayne, what's up, guys? Good to see you guys. Some familiar faces. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. But let's talk about us real quick. So you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, kind of thinking about what the heck I'm going to do with my life, there was never a question that I wanted to work with animals. I just knew that I wanted to work with animals. I kind of always wanted to go into the vet field, but I learned pretty quickly I didn't have the heart for it. So zoology was my next choice. And growing up in Michigan, I started looking at the Michigan colleges because I grew up pretty low income and definitely needed to stay in state. And luckily, Michigan State still had a zoology program at the time. So got accepted there, got my zoology degree, 4-year bachelor's degree, and I was actually the last class of 2015 that was able to get the zoology degree at Michigan State.
They changed stopped it that,
to something way more politically correct, or not politically correct, but way more animal rightsy sounding after that. But
yeah, we're going to talk about that whole thing too,
yeah.
and how that pertains to our industry, because Jess and I, because of our backgrounds, we have a very interesting perspective on that, and we've been exposed to that side of things, not necessarily pertaining to the industry, but just like animal rights in general. So keep that in mind, because I think the more you guys understand, the further this project goes, I think it's just going to be best to refer back to this video and just kind of understand, like, that's where we're coming from. So keep that in mind. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So getting into the zoo field is horrendous. I
do not recommend it.
It is terrible. Zoos are, unfortunately, they look real great on paper and to the public, but they're very corporation-like in that they do certainly take advantage of people's passion to work, and the whole zoo field in the States is very, very underpaid and overworked. But
they are criminally underpaid.
Yes.
You know, you like those memes where like it's like 6-year degree, 4-year degree, must have all of these
5 years of experience.
5 years experience, starting wage 18, no, not even 18,
like 12 bucks an hour. That's not a joke.
That's zoology.
That's
FYI.
Not a joke. Yeah.
Not to discourage any of you, because here's the thing. If you want to go into zoology, no one does it for the money. Everyone knows that.
Yes, it is.
It's just
worth it for sure. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Emotionally and physically.
Yes.
But anyway, so I started out working at a zoo in Lansing, fortunately, because I was already living there
in Michigan.
Yep. And I got super lucky because I applied way after their application period ended, and the curator just happened to be like, you know what, I do need an assistant this summer. Luckily, I got into Potter Park Zoo in Lansing, so that was where I got my start. Started working with herps in that department, and then once that became too expensive to live there on a zookeeper budget, I had to move back home to Detroit. So that was 2018, I believe, and right around the same time, Ryan started working there as well. So you tell him about you.
I don't know how you guys meet your partners, but Jessica's salamander tank needed to be replumbed.
No.
Her salamander
literally.
It's not a joke. No, it's not a joke. And I guess I was just a guy for the job, and that's all it took. So
no.
That's how that worked.
No.
That's exactly.
Tell them about how the heck you got into the zoo field, though.
I got lucky.
Much more interesting story.
Yeah, I got lucky, guys. I don't want to go into me too much. I really just want Jessica to get on camera and talk. This is a very rare treat. For those of you who know Marshall Arachnids, this doesn't happen very often. And we get to do it once a week now. It's very exciting.
Can't take the big kitties home from the zoo.
Yeah, you cannot take the big kitties home.
Charles said it all started with a salamander.
Yep, that's right.
A couple tiger salamanders.
The salamander plumbing. Yeah, flow-through system. Which we should probably, I've always wanted to do, I don't want to get off track, but I've always wanted to do a flow-through, yeah, God, it's top of my hands. I've always wanted to do a flow-through system for spiders. We'll see how far this goes. I don't know, but if anyone wants to see like a water feature, water flow-through, because you can't really do a water in tank necessarily with pump with spiders for obvious reasons, but a drip wall, like a flow-through drip wall, that would be really cool. But you guys got to convince me to do that. Anyway, so I don't know. I worked for a company called Josh's Frogs for a long time when I was going to school. And then when I graduated, if you guys have ever heard of it. And then I just didn't want to do X-ray anymore. I didn't want to do radiography. So I moved to Omaha. I did an internship for a year at their zoo. I was lucky enough to get that. Unpaid for a year. Keep that in mind. And then I did some conservation work in Honduras. And then I just, with amphibians specifically. And then I got a job at the Fort Worth Zoo at the Museum of Living Art, full time, working with reptiles and amphibians with a focus on amphibians. And then I went back to Omaha. I got a full time job there, working in their biosecure amphibian conservation area, which was really cool. That wasn't open to the public. And then after that, I got a job at Detroit, working at the what do they call that? National Amphibian Conservation Center.
Mm-hmm.
Working again with amphibians. And then so all the while, I was keeping spiders at home. So I think it's important to point out to people, like, I was an arachnophobe. And that's how, like, many people in this hobby, in this industry, get into spiders to get over their fear of arachnids in general. So I connect with a lot of people on that front. And so I get it when people are like, oh, I don't know about keeping spiders, or oh, they scare me, or oh, I don't know, I just don't know.
I tend to just roll my eyes because I've always loved them and have never been creeped out by them. So that's Ryan's thing.
Yeah, that's totally my thing. So I connect with people on that front, and I totally get it. So anyway, and then, COVID kind of hit and things just took off. We're like, hey, let's do this spider thing full time. And then we moved to Tennessee in 23. So we built this facility here. It's still a work in progress. It'll probably always be a work in progress. Yeah. But how big is this room? 30 foot by 30 foot?
900 square feet.
900 square feet for spiders. Climate controlled room. And all the while that we've been doing this, I think this is also important to point out. Let me know if there's any questions.
My wife will only allow one arachnid at a time. Not happy about the spider.
Yes.
Charles says, why Tennessee?
Hey, great question. I was just saying at the start of this, we did not move close enough to the equator.
For sure.
But Jessica has family here, and we're in the middle of nowhere. It's actually pretty amazing that we have the Wi-Fi that we do. And we have running water and electricity. These are big things here where we're at. So
yeah, we wanted to move farther south because we were up in Michigan and it sucked.
Yep. So we were making products like this. I mean, we can talk about this later. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Green screen's coming, guys. But we were making products, and I was drilling those stupid little AMAC containers and Pioneer containers for spiders. Like, I was doing a lot of physical labor outside in the garage, and everything was just frozen solid for like most of the year. I couldn't feel my fingers. It was miserable. And then it just so happened that Jessica's family was they moved down here, not far, actually, not many miles away. It's still 45 minutes because even though it's only a few miles away, when the road, you have to go around mountains. Yeah. They're not far. So this just made sense.
Oh, yeah. Massachusetts weather's probably worse than Michigan.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Anything by water, water, Michigan gets that.
Oh, yes.
Lake effect. It's terrible. I love Michigan. Don't get me wrong, but man,
I'm over it.
Yeah. It's just, it adds an extra layer of complication to like literally everything.
Yeah.
So all the while we've been doing this, we've been slowly kind of putting out content that's really controversial to keeping arachnids. I'm happy to say, and I'm not going to take credit for this at all. But I will say that a lot of the message that we've been putting out has been like the verbiage has been repeated, and I'm happy to see it. But we've had quite a different view on arachnids because we're coming from keeping reptiles and amphibians, and our focus was always natural history. So, yeah. We've always had this view that is very different.
It's not even controversial. It's just different.
Yeah.
Because it's not like risky.
No.
It's just,
I think we just have a different, I'm just going to say it's a better understanding of how
a more
to
scientific
apply. Yeah. How to apply concepts of thermoregulation and like the whole bioactive aspect of things. Yeah. And, we're not in it to like hold the animals, and like we very much want to try to preserve like how the animals would behave in the wild. Yeah. And so that's always been a huge message that we've been trying to push. And we've definitely ruffled feathers. Oh, yeah. We have not made friends. But we also we've made friends, but we've also like people just don't want to hear it, which is sad. Yeah. But that's okay. I'm happy to say though that like we're really starting to see an interest in the message we've been pushing, and whether that's due to what we've been saying or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just happy to see it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like we've traveled around the country. We've done a lot of expos trying to grow our brand, and we've talked to a lot of folks. And what I've noticed is like, yeah, a lot of people that we talk to just aren't loud. They're not loud on Facebook, and they're not loud on social media, but they definitely want us to expand on stuff. So, and they've kind of applied some of the concepts we've been talking about, and they have great success, you know, which is amazing, because a lot of things we've been talking about with heat and light and all that stuff, people say don't do it because you're going to kill your spiders, which is so far removed from what these things do in the wild. You know what I mean? So it just takes a little critical thought, which is something we always want to push, like encourage, like think about, don't look at the care guide.
Yeah,
don't
just follow it word for word.
I mean, I think care guides are great, and I think everyone should listen to everyone's opinion and their experience, because here's the thing. Experience is experience. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said for that.
But animal care is not black and white.
Very much. You know, it's funny. I like the quote. The more you learn, the more you know. The more you understand, you don't know much. You know what I mean? I think every good zookeeper would say that. Yeah. Like the more you know, the more you don't know. So, anyway, so that's why we're doing this. I think this is fun. Right now it's late at this point during the day. Like we've done this for several years now. We're here at this table, feeding stuff. Like we're doing husbandry. We're taking care of animals. At night, things come to life. Things are out. We see things. Something we don't do is we don't pluck animals out of their enclosure, and we're not going to make this a spectacle. But we're definitely, the reason why we're not making this a podcast is because we want to show you how to do things. I want to show you how to build bioactive enclosures, how to rehouse stuff, how to feed stuff. I want to show you spiderlings.
Critical thinking and herpetoculture haven't quite caught up to one another.
That's a good yes.
It's improving. Yes. It is improving. I will say that. Never stop learning.
I think, you know, I don't want to get too deep into this, but a customer, it was last year, was like, "Hey, I have this like philosophical question for you," and he's like, "I'm personally struggling. It's like, you know, we love animals, but at the same time, like keeping animals is generally speaking like a selfish endeavor, and you know, you're in the business of breeding and selling animals. Like, how do you sleep at night?" And like, I'll be honest, that it gave me pause, you know, but I was like, this is a fantastic question. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Should be asking those questions.
Every single keeper who wants to keep animals should ask themselves this question. Like, what are you doing? Right. What am I doing, and why am I doing this? And my response, it took me a minute, but I said, you know, we're also damn busy. Like we're busy, living busy lives, trying to survive. And I think there's this innate part for a lot of us, this innate, you know, drive to want to keep animals. And like we're very removed from nature. And I think like keeping animals and watching their behaviors like excites us. And I think it's touching on something very primitive.
I was gonna say a way to reconnect.
A way to reconnect. That's perfect. And whether we realize that or not, I really think that's what's going on here. Whether it's lizards or dogs or snakes or mammals and ferrets and all these things, like whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. I just think like we're all drawn to that. So I don't know where I was going with that, but so that anyway, critical thought. We should never stop being interested in improving the welfare of captive animals, you know. And here's the thing, Jess and I have gotten criticized, not Jess. Jess is perfect. I've gotten criticized for being a little too harsh when it comes to like criticizing like husbandry. But what I've always said is like, I'm not harder on anyone than I am myself. Like we're very hard on ourselves when it comes to husbandry. We're very critical. You know, it's not a personal thing. I think we need to sometimes remove the ego from what we're doing here for the animals, and just kind of like accept. it doesn't have to be mean. It's just criticism. It's like,
Yeah.
well, does that make sense? Could
Yeah.
I do this better? What is this person saying? What are they
Right.
bringing? Because there's so much ego involved in this industry. It's actually painful.
Yeah.
And not just this industry. It's the zoo field.
The human nature.
Yeah, it's the zoo field. It's everything.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times we put ourselves above the animals, and I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah,
you
there's definitely a difference between harshness and honesty for sure. It's just criticism, and that can be constructive or otherwise, but
Yep.
either way, it deserves
Definitely
reflection for sure.
bigger names in our little sector of the hobby don't like us, or me, not Jess, because I've been critical, you know, and I just want to remind everyone, you know, it's okay to be critical of yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not perfect.
It's not personal.
We're learning every day, and Jess corrects me every day. You know,
It's true.
but we're gonna talk more about that on the show. We're gonna talk about mistakes that we've made, things that we've learned as a result of making those mistakes, and things that I think we could all do better. So anyway, I would love to hear from you guys too, like throughout all of this. What topics do you want us to cover? I know we've got a few lined up already. We're going to do bioactive next week. We're going to build some bioactive enclosures. Bioactive can be as simple or as fancy as you want it to be. I love to see people incorporating the bioactive aspect with their spiders, with the live plants and the microfauna and the soil.
Charles wants you to tell us what they don't like. We'll get into it.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. We'll get there, buddy. Yeah. Don't worry. It's just, I've just been critical of like, because here's the thing, guys. I don't know how experienced you guys are with keeping arachnids, but you know, you Google how to care for arachnids and you just hear and see the same old garbage that's just like years old, that is very outdated. Like animal science is far past it. And I hate to see that stuff repeated. So if you're repeating it, I'm tend to be vocal and be like, hey, we're past that. Like, let's focus on improving arachnid husbandry, right? Because we know they learn. We know that at this point, they're very sensitive to their environments. We know they're very capable of thermal regulation. That's actually what a tarantula is a little thermal regulatory little beast. And not just tarantulas, but just invertebrates in general. Like there's more complexity to those animals than what I think we're giving them credit for. So any of that's what they don't like. So, you know what I mean? And I always push people who have big names and big voices to advocate for that. And whether, you know, sometimes a lot of them have to learn, they're in the process of learning. They're getting better themselves, just as we are. So more on that later. But I also want to know too, like if you guys, I don't know what day works for people. We're definitely going to do this later at night because this is what works for us. But like if there's a certain day you'd like to see a show ran, let me go ahead and we'll jump to this. So we just made a Facebook group, our Spiders After Sunset social. You can find that on Facebook.
It's public right now.
It's public now. To incentivize you, we're doing monthly giveaways. That could mean... Yeah, we're bribing you. We're bribing you because we want you guys to be involved. And this show doesn't go on without feedback from you guys. So jump in there to give feedback or I mean, just to give back to you guys. We're going to do monthly giveaways. That can be products. That can be animals that we produced.
Gift cards.
Gift cards.
Discounts.
We're working on really cool artwork right now. We'll get on that later. But we've got an artist that I am obsessed with who's making us a really cool not a logo, but it's like a print. Really, really cool drawing. So join that Spiders After Sunset social. Check that out. That's a good way to give us feedback about the show. Tell us things that you want to talk. You want us to talk about. What else, Jess?
Yeah, we got some discussion going on. We'll be doing actual training, sheep, full bioactive, all the above.
Oh yeah, all of that. Yeah. And we have a lot of animals here. I don't want to, I always tell Jess, don't tell me how many spiders we have, because I don't want to know. That's a mental thing for me. But we have a lot of animals that are ready to be rehoused that we've been kind of holding off on to build enclosures for you guys on camera. We're going to do it here. We're just going to do it here.
Yeah. So Wayne, that's a good question because tarantulas don't necessarily create the what do you call that, bioload that like
Correct.
a vertebrate like a frog does, for example.
Correct.
So in our bioactive enclosures anyway, the only maintenance that we ever really need to do is changing waters and maybe cleaning poop off the glass. But like for the most part, like the enclosure is pretty self-sustaining. But yeah, we'll build a little variety of different enclosures and types.
Yeah, I will say, like, we don't keep a lot of species here. Like, we don't do the floor to ceiling shoebox thing with like a million different species. We work with what we like and what we feel like we can provide for. So while we do have a lot of animals and a lot of species, it's not like a whole bunch, but we do work with a lot of the hobby staples. I don't like Brachypelma. We just don't have a lot of Brachypelma. I'm going to be honest, guys. I like Avicularia and Poecilotheria.
You should tell them about that Smithy that learned how to.
Oh yeah, I did. I was thinking that would be a really good idea to raise Brachypelma. I had Smithy, maybe Hamorii. I don't know. I had both. And then one like learned how to like routinely push open its enclosure and just like walk out.
Because it was in an Exoterra.
Yeah, we use a lot of Exoterra. Doors. We'll talk about all that. Yeah, and it kept getting out and
it pushed the door open at least twice.
Yeah, so like, and I don't lock a lot of these enclosures because a lot of them like there's just no drive to get out, and every time you go to click the little lock, it scares the shit out of everything. So I just don't do that. I don't lock them. And those Brachypelma would like push out. Like we have Xenesthus and Pamphilobedius and Theraphosa, and like none of them do that. But
giant pokies.
Yeah, we have big pokies. Anyway, this is a spider facility, so it's fine. But I wouldn't recommend you guys do that. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a few baboon species. Yep, we love African species here. Let's talk about some of the projects real quick that we're working on. So we are working with herps too. We don't just have invertebrates. Yeah, but we've got, I'm just going to look around the room. We've got day geckos. We've got several boa species. We've got a couple of pythons. We even have a reticulated python. Finally did one of those. We'll talk about that. That's a whole nother episode in and of itself.
Viper
geckos. Lots of crested geckos, hognose snakes.
The monkey tree frogs.
We got a couple amphibians. It's funny, like professionally, all I did was amphibians, and I worked with amphibians for so long, and we don't really have any here.
Charles, why do you not recommend the coffin crib for pokies?
Yeah, I'm curious. So we do have a collaboration, if you guys don't already know, with Tarantula Cribs. This is my show. I can say whatever I want. I don't like acrylic. I just don't. I don't like it. I prefer glass. I'll be honest. We sell these acrylics, and I'll be honest, they're very nice, and we do use them for a lot of our juveniles. I just prefer glass, guys. I don't know. I just like
magnet clips too hard. Noted.
Oh, yep. So that's another thing too. A lot of these will use magnets. Ours is pretty gentle, but some of these enclosures they do slam, which you want things to be closed. If you're not going to utilize a locking mechanism, like you want a strong door. But the trade-off is it will scare animals. Yep. Yeah, but it's a give and take. Like Tarantula Cribs makes fantastic acrylic products. Beautiful.
Yeah,
they're really well done.
For sure.
Which is why we have partnered with them to make our own design. Oh, sorry guys. Right. So this is our purple box. We have long, tall, short, small. MarshallArachnids.com. We do have those.
Respond to Wayne.
I like the way he's bending the groove. Yep. Hey, what you said. Hey, can you put that on put that on there? I think that's perfect. Yeah, bring that up. Thank you, Wayne. What you just said, that there is perfect. I think every keeper, regardless of the taxa you're keeping, should understand this. Yeah. And then coming to terms with it's a bit of a selfish endeavor. So we want to do the best that we can for them. I think animals absolutely can and do thrive. I'll use that word in captivity, but it takes work and it takes constant change and it takes evolving, in the current climate that we're in. I think it's just now more than ever, we just need to be conscious of that. Yeah. So very good point.
Want to talk about the slits? vents?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yep. So our purple box, I'm just going to get it
Wait,
out.
no, let me grab one that's on.
You want to grab? Oh, yeah, we got one on the shelf. We got one with a Versacolor, and this is an old style purple box that Jess is going to grab. Okay. Yep. So what, you want to put that up on the screen?
But what?
What Charles said,
yeah.
the slits. Yep. So here's a old purple box before our re-release with tarantula cribs. There's a little Diversipies juvenile in here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it very well, because if I get too close, I need the green screen. And guys, by the way, when we do these builds, I've got another camera view that we'll bring in, and it'll be a top-down view. But the slats, so this is what we call our hexed style vents. It's in the shape of a hexagon, but we use slats instead of holes. And we do that because it is a literal night and day difference, in our opinion. Actually, it's not our opinion, it's just a fact. It's just better ventilation, better airflow. We keep a lot of Avix and Pokies, Poecilotheria, and we mist every single day. Go ahead. Good question, Charles. So it could, if you are working with jumping spider slings, they could escape. On our small ones, it's 1 millimeter. So
tiny.
It'd have to be the size of a high-DI fruit fly to escape. Otherwise, no. We raise slings in the second Instar, no problem. Although usually we go in 40 drams. We'll talk about all that later.
And yes, the sale is 20% off still.
Yes, MarshallArachnids.com. We are doing a sale at the time of this recording, 20% off everything on the site. Get after it.
Yeah. Charles, I recommend, depending on how big, I recommend at least half-inch minimum size. So even a D Diamantinensis, a Brazilian blue dwarf beauty, once they're about third Instar, they're a little bit bigger than half-inch diagonal leg span. That's plenty big enough to not escape from these 447s.
Yeah, we thought about all that. So 1 millimeter on the small ones. It's 2 millimeter on our bigger enclosures, but same hexagonal slats. Every enclosure that we release will have some variation of the slats. And that's, again, because we do mist every day. A lot of these animals, at least the ones that we keep, like constant access to fresh water. That's a trigger for them to drink. So we mist every day. So as a result, we want good ventilation to not saturate the environment. So that's why we do the slats.
Yeah.
And it's kind of our signature, the hexagon. I don't know where that came from. It's just kind of stuck. But
came from that font.
Oh, yeah. Our logo. Whatever.
How does it open?
Good question.
These are just front opening.
Yeah, they're all front opening. Our enclosures, yeah, I got you. Our enclosures do not have, they're all front opening. Oh, he's coming out.
Trying to eat. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, he just came out. Get out of there, buddy.
Starving.
Anyway, front opening. We're working on, hopefully, maybe we can do front and top opening too on everything. Stay tuned for that.
Just take some extra logistics and probably a little bit extra money.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
A little bit extra money, but being able to rip the top off and clean is something we want to do. But front opening, and then our 744 and 1288s are top opening. But again, stay tuned. I'm going to try to do a little front opening thing. Front opening, guys. Front opening is just. Oh, the camera came on again.
Oh no, it's striking my face.
Here, come here. There we go. So we want front opening. No, it's okay. It's good. It's off. We want front opening for just about everything that can have front opening, because I think it's much less. It's less scary. It's less scary for the spider to come in through the front. If you think about it, a lot of these OBTs and all the baboons and Poecilotheria that you see on social media that are threat posturing, you just rip the lid off, you rip the roof off, and the animals are scared. Because I'll be honest, I see more threat postures from T. Celadonia than I do my OBTs or any of the Pokies. Go on, Kiba. Kiba wants to say hi. He's okay. He's saying hi. Hi, Bubba. Say hi, Kiba. So front opening, if you can do that, I agree. The switch is, so Tarantula Cribs nailed it with the switch. That's a good idea on them to yank the lid off too. I agree. So we're working on that. Anything else, Jess?
More projects. What? You only went over the reptiles.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we can talk about spiders real quick. Oh geez, I don't even know. Lots of Avix. We have all the pokies, Jess.
No, I don't have.
We do not have Hanuma, right? Okay, so we have all the pokies except for Hanuma. We're working on Avix. Some of the terrestrials I'm really looking forward to would be Zenesthus. We have Zenesthus blue and intermedia. We have Pamphobedius solaris. I'm really looking forward to that.
Ripley, what's that?
What's up, Ripley? We have some Theraphosa coming up.
Let's do it this way.
Blondie, I think, is what you're working
I
with.
my Blondie.
So
got
she's
rid
kept
of the
Blondie.
other Theraphosa, but kept the Blondie.
Yeah, as far as the terrestrials go, like the big ones are really what I think are exciting. But other than that, we don't really have any other terrestrials. We got Diamantinensis. We have Birupies. Which are, those are all like ready to go. We're pairing those now.
Yeah.
And then your Davis species Panama.
Davis, yes. Panama,
Those are we just paired those. Lava spiders, as everyone calls them. So lots of projects, and as we're going with this show, we'll just keep you guys posted. I think, and my biggest, my most favorite, my pride and joy project would be the net casting spiders. So we have a YouTube video out, kind of highlighting that. It's cringe. I'm very cringe on it. Whatever.
Why is it cringe?
It's just cringe. I just can't watch myself. Anyway,
Oh
so we have African net casting spiders or ogre face spiders.
Andy,
what up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Shout out to our Michigan brethren. Hope shows are going good for you up there, buddy. The shows up there, I'm gonna tell you right now, Andy, those Michigan shows
way better than
better than Tennessee shows, brother. Stay in Michigan.
Yeah.
For that purpose. Otherwise, get the hell out of there. Yeah, Michigan shows are awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, the netcast Project Safety Net, which is what we call our netcasting spider project, is going really well.
Yeah.
We've got 7 egg sacs going right now, and we've been pairing. We've got a mature male. We've just been pairing him to passing him around. So balls to the wall with that one. Yeah, the netcasters. I'm obsessed with them.
He is obsessed.
They're so cool. I don't know, they just like fit. Like a lot of my inspiration is I like death metal music. This band in particular is a huge influence on me. I like Stranger Things. That show Stranger Things is a huge influence on me. Star Wars, and like I don't know, that spider just like fits. I don't know.
Speaking of Stranger Things, the smoke, what do they call it? The smoke monster reminds me of ghost mantises, which is another big project that we've had running for a couple of years now.
Shadow monster,
yeah.
Yep.
When June is up in this house.
When June, what up, brother?
Lifespan on the male netcasters. Pedipalps to the wall.
Pedipalps to the wall. That's right. I'm gonna steal that. Just kidding.
Is this our first time having one since sub-adulthood?
Yeah,
so we're gonna find out.
I don't think it's much more than a year. I would say 1.5 years tops for them.
Oh, males way less than that. I bet you it's probably about 6 months. I bet you, but we'll see.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a little longer than that, but we'll let you guys know.
We should make bets.
Yeah.
Right now, live.
I bet. Yeah.
Right.
I bet you.
I bet
you it's a little longer.
Hey, Jen Hamley.
Hey guys. Yep. So we're working on that. That's awesome. Even if and that's the thing too. Like even if you do get a male, because we will produce babies. I'm telling you. Yeah. Even the males are cool. So
yes, they're awesome.
You cannot go wrong with those animals. So
assassin bugs.
We've got assassin bugs
that we got into very recently, and I love them.
Yep, she's doing well. We've got both
awesome.
Horde Kings and then the white spots. Twin spots. Those are
awesome. They're
very prolific.
They're adorable.
They're pretty cool.
They're terrifying, but they're so like.
They're really not that bad.
Yeah, they're not aggressive at all. They don't have a high prey response or anything to like hands or anything like that. But crickets are something else.
Yeah, they're exciting.
But they're really cool. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it. So we just want to introduce ourselves for those of you who don't know us. And I'm excited to see where this goes. We're really excited about it. Give a shout out to Jess for making all of our logos. If you guys need a dope, sick reptile logo, she makes
logos.
all of our graphics. She makes other logos for other businesses. She's just a wizard.
Without AI. Thank you very much.
That's right. No AI. Spider-Man needs a guy in the chair, as they say. Not that I'm Spider-Man and not that she's a guy, but she's in the chair. So,
you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know.
Yeah,
we're hanging out, but let's see. Follow us on our socials, guys. Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, join the Spiders After Sunset social. We are bribing you to hang out with us by incentivizing you with giveaways.
And links to all those things are in the YouTube description.
Check out description below. Check us out on Morph Market. And if you guys are not familiar yet, we are on an app called Palm Street. It is a live auction app. Can I say that word? Can I say the A word?
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay, it's a platform. Okay, how about that? It's a platform where breeders offer their things. And we are going live tomorrow. What time's our event?
7.
At the time we're recording this. So tomorrow at 7, we're going to be live, but we're going to do that weekly as well.
7 Central.
You guys can see the animals that we have available for you. And then our next episode, we're talking about all things bioactive. So if you guys have any questions, jump into the Facebook group, let us know, or join us on the next episode. And we're going to do some builds. Like I said, I've got Zenesthus that need to be rehoused. We have some Pokies that need to be rehoused.
Whip spiders,
OBTs.
huntsmen.
Okay, we're rehousing a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I'm not saying all of those things are going to be in bioactive builds necessarily, but
Charles, the giveaway will probably make a post announcing how to enter that.
Yep.
When are we doing that? Tonight?
It's up to
Tomorrow?
you. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Right,
I don't know about you
tomorrow.
guys, but this time change stuff, I'm tired.
Still affecting us.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll announce the giveaway there. We are doing a Poecilotherium metallica spiderling produced by yours truly. It's a holdback, so feel special.
Very special.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Changes BS.
Dude, it sucks. I'm tired. I'm like tired. It's like 6 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, when's bed? I think that's it, guys. We love you. Thank you so much. We're excited to see where this goes. Please subscribe, do the thing, help us grow so that we can get this message that we so badly want to give to the industry out.
Yeah.
And
let us know what day or days you guys want us to do these on. It might not necessarily be the same day every week.
Yeah, because we do shows sometimes. But let us know what day works.
Yeah,
okay?
we don't have next stream scheduled yet, but we will have that scheduled soon.
Yep. Check it out.
We figure out a day.
Yep. Love you guys.
Thank you, Wayne.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Oh, no.
Night, guys.